Hello and welcome to this video on percentage increase and decrease. Now these types of questions are always set in a wee story, so there's a little context usually round about the question. If we look at this one, it says Mark works as a painter, he gets paid £240 per week. If he gets a 5% pay rise, what is his new weekly wage? So what you've got to do is you've got to work out what 5% of 240 is, and it's an increase, so it's going to be added on to his wage because it's a wage rise. So really important that you read the question very carefully and understand what's going on. So Mark's getting a wage rise of 5% on his £240 per week pay. Alright, so how do we work this out? Well, first of all, we've got to figure out the increase. So if you write down his increase is 5% of £240. So if we work that out, remember 5 divided by 100 times 240, and that equals £12. Now, I know there are some shortcuts to doing 5%. You can find 10%, which is 24 and half it. There's lots of different things that you can do to find 5%. We'll discuss those later. I'm going to stick to one method for this. So this will work if it's 5%, it would work if it was 6% or 7 or 8 or 9 as well. You just use the exact same method. So the percentage divided by 100 multiplied by the amount gives us that 5% of 240. So that's the increase that he gets. It's not his new wage, that's how much his wage is going up by. So his new wage is simply going to be his old wage, put the pound sign in, add on the increase, and that just gives them £252. Now, when you're asked a question like this in maths in a sentence, it's always better to try and answer it in a sentence as well, if you can, alright? So, at the bottom, very simply, I'm just going to put Mark's, not Mars, Mark's new weekly wage is £252. Okay, so going through it again, first step is you've got to read the question very carefully and try and understand what's going on. Very often what people do is they just look and they see numbers and they try and just do something with the numbers. So you've got to try and make sure you understand. So Mark works as a painter, he's paid £240 per week. It's a 5% pay rise. What is his new weekly wage? Alright, so we've got to work out the increase first. So we figure out 5% of 240. We get that as 12. This is the way we do it. Remember, we're going to keep this method all the way through these videos, okay? And the new wage is £240. Add on the increase is 252. And as I said, if you're asked in a sentence, if it's in context, you have to then show that you understand the context. So your answer to the question is Mark's new weekly wage is £252. That shows you you've understood the question and you've answered the question properly. Okay? So that's percentage increase and decrease.